Hi. So it seems that everyone really likes this stitch, so I decided to record a video on how to do that. Here's the tablecloth I showed you, and as you can see, it's double-sided. I'm not really happy with the other side here, so I'm gonna unpick it all and redo it. It scares me a lot because it's a lot of work, but still I wanna make everything perfect. So let's start. I did some googling before, and it seems that this stitch is called a double running stitch. But when I googled the double running stitch, I didn't really see anything like this. So yeah, I decided I shall go on with the video. I've actually found the first my first piece that I made in this stitch, and I really don't like it because it basically looks like shit. It's unfinished for some reason and doesn't really look nice, and the back is just no good. But I shall use this cloth to show you how to do it, and also it's really simple. So I'd recommend using tapestry needles, because the same ones that you use to cross stitch, because you just need to get into these holes and not inside the, I don't know, a thread or something. Also, sorry, my cat is eating in the background, so you can hear her. And I shall use the same thread that I'm using on my big project. So yeah, let's start. As usual, we are gonna need some of the needle. Sorry, some of the thread. I don't know words anymore. Yeah, thread the needle. You don't need much. And cut it. And I don't know, for example, make a knot. I usually do it like this. And here you go. I'm not sure though this is gonna be enough for these holes, but yeah, probably not. Hey there. Hello, kitty. So let's start. I will show you how to, for example, make this bird, the same one. So basically what a double running stitch is. So you make a running stitch, right? And then you just, and then you just go back. That's it. As you can see, it doesn't look too nice here, but this is not because I'm doing something wrong. It's because you should really think of how big the holes are and how thick the thread is. So you should kind of match the thickness. For example, here you can see that the holes are basically non-existent, and so when you push the needle and the thread through the cloth, the cloth kind of straightens the lines, so you just see a very nice result. And here we'd need a much thicker thread for it to look nice, but yeah, I'm showing you the basics of how to do it, and then you can, I don't know, use whatever thread you want. So let's let's make the bird. What is it? So to make the bird, you have to start from its, I don't know, legs. We shall call it legs. Okay. You can see here that she has like 3 fingers, maybe, I don't know. And let's start with this finger, right? So I already have my thread on the back. So my next step would be to stitch here, then we make the second toe, we stitch here, right, and then the third toe. Then goes the leg itself, right, and then the belly of the bird. So I have to choose the direction in which I go, and for example, I want to go here to make the second leg first, and then the rest of the bird. So okay, here and here. Then the first toe of the bird, of the second leg, sorry, and the second toe, come on, and the third one. Sorry if you cannot see what I'm doing all the time. It's like my almost first time recording a video, so I have no idea what I'm doing. Then we have, yeah, we just go on. You know, come on. Here, then here, and this stitch is really one of the most basic ones, you know, but when done with a nice thread and on using nice cloth and so on, it really looks very good and quite impressive. you need to pay attention all the time to how you are stitching, and you kind of need to plan ahead, because you don't only need to stitch it, but also you need to make sure that you don't you don't stitch the same place twice, because on each side of the embroidery you can only pass your thread once. How does it work? So, I don't know, should I be speaking, or should I just shut up and do my work, or what? I don't know. Basically, I think that it's quite obvious what I'm doing. And also, if you are looking for like pattern that you wanna stitch with using this, you could use some black work patterns, and yeah, they can be quite impressive. But on the other hand, I really like the national Russian motifs much more. So I think I shall write somewhere how it's called in Russian, and then you can just copy paste the title into a search bar and find any amount of patterns. And the thing is that most of them are just out there for free, which is a good thing, because no one actually claims the authorship. Also, what are my other pieces of advices? No one says advices. Okay, so when you are out of thread, I would recommend just leave like this much, then take a new piece of thread and knot them together with a really small knot, because and try to I don't know how you do it, but how I do it, but I'm trying to like push it. So I basically go on stitching using this new thread, and when I come to the knot, I always make sure that it stays on the back of the work, and it's a much nicer way than whatever I was trying to do when I just started this long process. I mean, yeah, this one, it's actually a tablecloth. So this one is the second side, and you cannot see any ends or beginnings of the thread, because it's just hidden so nicely, because I started using this knots technique. Can I call it technique? I don't know. And compare here, you see this looks rather shitty. And basically every time I ran out of thread, I just took a new one and tried to do whatever. And it just doesn't look nice, and it's supposed to look basically the same on both sides. So yeah, knots is my choice. So where are we? Yeah, I should have really chosen some other thread, but whatever. Yeah, okay. While we're at it, I'm gonna tell you a bit about my cat. I only have her for like a month, and she's a most brilliant cat. So she's a shelter cat, and before that she was living with some family or some older woman, but she died unfortunately, and so the cat had nowhere to go, so they put her in a shelter. And we had this, I don't know, one of the shelters basically suggested that anyone can take an animal for this quarantine period, and if the person likes the animal, they can just have it for good. So first I decided that I want to like try having a cat, because I've never actually had one, and I wasn't sure I can take care of her, because I cannot even take care of myself. But it turned out really nice, and she's the best cat ever. I mean, everyone says that about their cat, but really, she's very affectionate. She's quite brave, because like just as soon as I brought her home, she was out of her, I don't know, how do you call this thing that you put your cat into just to bring it to a vet or somewhere, I don't know. So she left this thing and just went around the flat and found her like 3 or 5 different places that she liked most. And yeah, she's just so good, and I think she loves me already, and it melts my heart every time. And the first thing in the morning that I have to do is pet her, and also every time I want to use the toilet, she just goes with me and stays there, because the only useful thing I could possibly do there is just pet her. I'm not sure why that specific seat is any better than, I don't know, any other chair in the apartment, but apparently it is. So yeah. We are done with the tail, and now we just have to fill in the body. So you see, it's basically, I don't know, what is the word? I've forgotten. Okay, but you got me. So yeah. Basically, the only thing that might be complicated here is you have to pay attention to wherever you are stitching, and yeah, then you'll be alright. Also, another piece of advice. I don't know, it might be also useful for cross stitch, but I just cannot stand cross stitch. It just drives me crazy. I have nothing but my deepest what is this word again? I forgot. Sorry, I forget words all the freaking time. So I do get that people like cross stitch a lot, but I just cannot do that. I don't have enough patience for it. Yeah, so when I do this stitch, so when my needle is on the back, I do not, so I don't do this. I cannot do English, sorry. Because then it might happen that the thread will get all tangled and you will spend like a lot of time untangling it. So basically what I do is I try to enter with the needle in one place and then at once exit. If I cannot do it, for example, if I have to, like, I don't know, go like this, for example, yeah, then I just pull the needle through, and then as soon as I can, without pulling the whole thread through, I shall pull the needle out. And then it really, I don't know, I find it much easier to do so. So here we go. Yeah, here, and basically when you go back to cover all the empty spaces here, you most probably have like you can see where the thread should go. So for example, I'm here and this is the only place I can stitch to, right? I'm no good at tutorials. I'm really not good. But whatever. Right? And what? Okay, so I'm a bit lost. Really. So I don't have anything here. And then, oh, okay. Right? No? Yes? I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I can only go here. Okay, it worked. Good. We are almost done. And the last one. Yay. We are done. So to check whether you've done everything correctly, you just turn it around, and yes, if it looks the same on both sides, then you've done everything right. So I hope you're not mad at how bad this tutorial was, and I hope that the actual needlework wasn't out of the focus all the time. So yeah, if you have any other questions about stitching or embroidery, I would love to talk to you or make another shitty tutorial. And yes, thank you for watching. Bye.